Okay. Again, want to welcome everybody to our Thursday Your Eternal Seed presentation. In this presentation, I'm going to share with you, how to maximize version 2.0. So I want to welcome all of our new guests who are joining us for the first time. Again, my name is Cedric Houston from Raleigh, North Carolina, and it's going to be my esteemed pleasure for about the next 30, 35 minutes to share with you what many of us are so excited about your eternal seed and this gifting program and how we're able to help each other through this program. So working together and together, we're going to change our lives through teamwork. And a little bit about Your Eternal Seed. Your Eternal Seed is an 11-year program. So this is not a fly by night, just getting started last week, last month, a couple months ago program. This is an 11-year program, with the mission to provide a home for like minded people, like everyone that's on this Zoom presentation, to work together to practice the universal laws of giving and receiving and to offer an activity where everyone can be happy and successful. Bottom line, we want to be able to help you achieve your financial goals through this gifting program. So before I get started, let me kind of read this disclaimer, just so there's no misunderstanding about the program. Please know that Your Eternal Seed is not an investment club. It's not a business. It's not an MLM. It's not a company or a corporation. There's no investment here, no paychecks, no products or services to sell, and no one makes or earns money. Meaning, we're not a business opportunity. We are a gifting program. Okay. So if you actually go to the Your Eternal Seed website and look at the structure of the program, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the Your Eternal Seed base gifting program. And there's, just so you know, there's 5 levels and on the base program, you start with a one-time $25 gift. And as you work your way through the program, you're going to receive $200. And as you move through the program, you go to level two, you would be gifting. And again, your one-time out-of-pocket is only that $25 plus the activation fee. But as you move through the different levels, you're going to be gifting. And then the second level, you would receive $800. And on the third level, you would be gifting $500 and you would receive in gifts $4,000. And then on the fourth level, you would gift $1,000 and then you would be receiving in gifts yourself $8,000. And then there's that fifth level where you would give $3,000, okay, and you would be receiving $24,000 in gifts. Now, there is what we call the version 2.0 propulsion piece of Your Eternal Seed. And one of our leaders, Jamie, came up with this program. And this really just kind of blew the whole concept of gifting up with this program. And basically, all this program does is takes an additional $25. And so it actually makes level one, instead of a $25 gift, it makes it a $50 gift. And what that does is it doubles the gifts that you receive. So you can see instead of the $200 you would receive $400. Instead of the $800 is $1,600. Instead of the $4,000, now that becomes $8,000 and $16,000 on the fourth level, and then up from 24,000 to the 48,000. And that's just with that one additional $25. And I'll show you how this works throughout the program. Now, there are two key benefits to version 2.0 versus the base program. Number one is it reduces the number of people needed to move you to the gifting receiving position. So instead of you having to invite 4 people to the program, you only have to invite 2 people to the program, because it's a fact that basically any program that's out there, on average, a person can share or recruit or bring on board 2 people. When you start asking them to bring on 3, 4, 5, and 6 people, that's where they fail. So the average person is willing and can share a program with 2 people. And then B, your invitees do the same thing. Are we asking your invitees to do what you bring on board? Is they share this program with 2 people themselves? And then the second benefit, like I said above, it doubles the gifts on each level. Okay. That's with version 2.0. Now with version 2.0, again, it's a one time only $50 gift, and everyone's joining the program starts here. And this will be the only out-of-pocket gift you make. And plus, there is a one-time $10 activation fee. So your total to get started with your Eternal Seed is $60 one time. Now, what does your Eternal Seed provide? A gifting activity with a complete rock solid virtual back office. That means everything is tracked for you. You don't have to pull out a piece of paper and a pencil and write down names and see who's on this side and that side. The system tracks everything for you and in your back office, so you can log on with your username and password and see where your growth is, excuse me, and how your team is doing. Also includes checks and balances through online controls to ensure gifts are received. That means that the system is going to tell the giver who they're going to be sending gifts to, and it's going to be telling the receiver who they should be receiving gifts from. And the receiver has control to make sure that those gifts are received. So there's no question about that, or you don't have to worry about anything falling through the crack because the system is tracking that for you. You get to view your team's growth in real time, easy access to members' information for communication purposes, and an amazing financial security creation potential with your Eternal Seed. And is folks, this is a simple program to start, and it is a simple program to follow. And of course, the thing that I love about this program is there's no monthly or annual fees with it. That $60 is all that you need to come out of your pocket to get this program going and get it ramped up. Now, let me share with you the back office, and this is the portion that I'll actually share with you how your Eternal Seed works. Now, like I said, you have everybody that comes on board with your Eternal Seed gets their own unique back office, and it has all the boards there. It actually has all the boards that you're on in your team, so you can actually, when you log in, you can actually see exactly what's going on with your team and with the boards all the way through the program, the entire program. Now, here's an example of what one of the boards looks like. And again, there are on each board, regardless of what level, whether it's level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, there are 15 positions on each board. Now, here's the thing I want to kind of pause that may help you to understand. Even though there's 15 positions, with version 2.0, you only need 7 people to fill up a board, okay? Because with version 2.0, everyone is getting 2 positions. And I'm going to show you why, as I mentioned before, I'm going to show you why that's so critical and so important to actually moving you through this program to receiving your gifts pretty quick. So you can see from this example here, how each of these people here have 2 positions. BMH Scott has 2 positions. Then if you look at the next row, Stanley 8051 has 2 positions. I Dawson has 2 positions, and so on and so forth. So now, even though there's 15 positions, and the 15th position is the person in senior, if you look at those 14 positions in that red box, okay, they each have 2. So that means that it only takes 7 people to actually fill those positions. Now, let's talk about the positions. It all starts with that freshman position. If you think about the high school and college, you got your freshmen who are at the bottom, and those are those 8 positions on the bottom of the screen there in that red box. So again, every board starts out with that freshman position, and the freshmen are in the gifting position. They're the ones that when they come on board, whether they're starting out with the $50 one time out of the pocket, or whether they're moving through the $100 board, the $500 board, they're the ones who are actually be gifting to the senior. Okay, and then next above the freshman, you have the sophomore. And to me, I think the sophomore is the most important position, in this program. Because why? Because the sophomores are the ones who are inviting. So if you look at, for example, to the left there, you got Stanley 8051 and Stanley 8051 invited Viola 30. And Viola 30 got 2 positions. And Stanley 8051 also invited Ward 74. Ward 74 got 2 positions. So the inviter, I mean, the sophomore is the inviter in your eternal seed. And then above the inviter, you have the junior position. Now, the junior is responsible for, they're really the observer. They're the coach. They're helping the sophomore and the freshman to get up and running and to learn how the program works. So that's the role of the observer. And then above that, you have the senior. And all the senior does, the senior is in that receiving position. So, as I said before earlier, with the freshmen, they're in the gifting position. So they are actually gifting to the seniors. So regardless of what board they're on, the freshmen are gifting to the seniors. The sophomores are invited, and the juniors are the ones that are observing. Now, the other thing to remember, even though that there are 15 positions on the board, there is a left side of the board and there is a right side of the board. So if you were to draw a line straight down from the middle, from the top down to the bottom, take a look at it. You got 2, 4, 6. You got 7 positions on the left side, and you got 7 positions on the right side. Now, why that is important is that the left side works totally independently from the right side, and vice versa. The right side works independently from the left side. And what that means is you don't have to worry about filling all the positions in order for you to move up to another level on your eternal seed, because you only focus on the side that you actually come in. So if you came in on the left side, and which I'll show you the next slide, if you came in on the left side, your only focus is that left side. If you came in on the right side, your only focus is going to be on the right side. Now, let me show you how that works. So here's an example. Let's say you've got a board here and that's just about filled, and you come on board. Tom actually shared this program with you. For example, I don't know who Tom is, but let's say Tom shared your eternal seed with you. And you said, hey, Tom, this looks good. I'm interested. I want to be able to give to others and receive gifts myself. So you say yes, and you come on board, and you're on that freshman position in those 2 positions at the bottom left. Okay. Now, if you notice on the right side, right across from Tom, there's Mike. Now, Mike is in that sophomore position also, and Mike has shared the program with Alice. But Mike also has 2 more positions that need to be filled by another person, which has been filled yet, and that's fine. We're not worried about that, but we're only going to focus on the left side, which is the side that you come on board. So now, if you look at, you got yourself, and you got Ray that's next to you, you got Tom in the sophomore position, and you got Jane that's in the junior position, and you got Sue that's in the senior position. Now, the one other thing I want to make sure, if we look at the top right of this slide, it says board 1, because when Sue came on board, she came on with version 2.0. She had 2 positions. So as we'll talk about this board split. Actually, Sue has 2 separate boards. She has this board and she has a second board. And as Sue receives gifts from those freshmen, which you're on, you, Ray, and Alice, and when those other positions at the bottom are filled, plus, on the other board, Sue is going to receive $200 in gifts from this board. She's also going to receive $200 from her second board for a total of $400. Okay. So now let's focus on the left side. All of the positions are filled. You can see you on the freshman level, Ray and Tom is the sophomore, and Jane is the junior. So once all of those positions are filled, you're going to hear the term the board splits. Okay. Now, what happens when the board splits is that it's time for graduation. Okay. That means you're going to move from the freshman position up to the sophomore position. Now, again, uh, don't be concerned about the right side. They're okay. They're fine. They may be kind of running a little bit behind your side, but they're going to catch up at some point. They will catch up, so don't worry. But on the left side, look at what happened. You're in that sophomore position. And what do we say the sophomores do? The sophomores are the inviters. So you go out and you share this program with 2 people. You shared it with Pete and you shared it with Julie. And both Pete and Julie said, hey, listen, I like the whole concept of this gifting program. I'm in. How do I sign up? So you signed them up with the program. with their one-time $60, $50 gets gifted up to Jane, and at $10 their activation fee. But look what happens. Though your freshman positions where Pete and Julie are on the left side, that's the only side you focus on. Now that whole left side is filled again. And Tom is in the junior and Jane is in the senior. And again, Jane is going to receive $200 from this board once all the freshman positions are filled. She also has a second board that she's going to receive $200 from. But now your left side, folks, take a look at this. Your left side is filled. And so the board is going to do what? It's going to split once again. Okay. This time when it splits, you're moving up to the junior position. Now, if you notice on this slide, you have a position on the left side and you have a position on the right side. This is where now you become focused on both the left and the right side, because now your team has expanded on both the left and the right side. And you look at your sophomores, you got Pete and Julie, who you actually personally brought in into the program. Now they're in the sophomore position. And man, they went out and did just what you instructed them to do. They went out and shared the program each with two people. So Pete shared it with Jim and Kim, and Julie shared it with Luke and June. Okay. And they automatically filled all the positions. They filled all the positions on the left and the right side. If you notice, Tom is in that same position now, and Tom is receiving $200 from this particular board because all those freshman positions are filled. He also has a second board that he's going to receive $200 from. But now that the left and the right side are filled, guess what's going to happen, folks? The board is going to split once again. And now when the board splits this time, guess who's in the senior position? Yes, you. You're in the senior position. You've got Pete and Julie that are now in the junior position on two separate boards. Okay, and look at your sophomores. You got Jim and Kim on the one side of the board. That's the sophomores, and you got Luke and June. And all they're going to do, folks, is share with two people each. And when they share with their two people, those freshmen are going to be gifting the $25 per position. So it's going to be a total of $200, okay, that you're going to be gifted on one board, and then $200 you're going to be gifted on a second board. So that is the $400 that you're going to receive now as a senior. So now let me kind of recap this for you and give you a chart of how this all works. Again, everybody enters on the $25 board, and you got yourself and you got 14 members. And I say 14 members because you remember you got 7 on one board and you got 7 on the second board, from the freshmen, the sophomores, and the juniors, okay, on two separate boards, and everybody's getting two positions. So you're going to receive $200 from one board, and you're going to receive $200 from a second board. Now, the other piece that I want to emphasize and make sure everybody understand is these people, let's say you and those 14 members right there, they're going to follow you through the whole process, through every level that you go through. These same 14 people are going to follow you, folks. That's what makes it a huge team effort. So look what happens when you actually move through and you become a senior on the $25 board. You're going to receive $400. Remember, you're going to receive $200 from one board and $200 from that second board. Basically, all you want to do then is take $200 of that $400 that $400 gift, and you want to move to the $100 board. Okay, you're going to place yourself on two positions. All you're doing is just duplicating everything you did from the previous board. So now you're on the $100 board. You're going to place yourself on two positions, okay, with $200. Okay, and so now remember, the same 14 people are going to be following you. They're following right along with you as they move from the $25 board to the $100 board. They're following right behind you. So once you become a senior on the two boards from the $100 board, that's $1,600. It's going to be $800 from one board and $800 from a second board. So guess what you're going to do when you receive that $1,600? You want to take a portion of that and move to the $500 board. Matter of fact, you're going to take $1,000 of that $1,600 and you're going to move to the $500 board, folks. And you're going to put $600 in your pocket along with that $200 that you receive from the $25 board. Okay, now remember the same 14 people from the two boards, 7 from each board, are going to be following right along with you. So you're not all of the new people that are coming on board. I know you probably wondering, well, where are the new people coming from? They're coming through the $25 board because that's the entry point. Everybody comes through the $25 board as the entry point. And then a new team is created and they follow each other. So now you're on the $500 board, okay? And once you become the senior on that $500 board, you're going to receive $8,000 in gifts. You're going to receive 4,000 from one board and 4,000 from that second board. And all you're going to do is of that 8,000, you're going to take 2,000 of that 8,000, and you're going to move now to the $1,000 board because now you want to still want to get two positions. Okay, that's $1,000 in one position, $1,000 on that second position. And again, remember the same 14 people are following you and doing the same thing. You got two different boards, seven people on each board. They're following you and doing the same thing. They're each getting two positions. Once you get to the senior position on the $1,000 board, folks, you're going to receive in gifts $16,000. Okay, $16,000 on that $1,000 board. All you're going to do then is you're going to take 6,000 from of that 16,000. Now you're going to move to level 5, which is a $3,000 board. So you're going to place yourself on the $3,000 board with two positions, which is $3,000 each. Okay, and then you're going to put that remaining $10,000 goes into your pocket. Now you're on level 5, which is the last level. And again, remember the same people are following you. Okay, and once you become the senior on that $3,000 board, you're going to receive a total of $48,000. You're going to receive 24,000 on one board and 24,000 on the second board. And that should say 14 members instead of 7. So make sure I note that correction there. Now, here's a unique thing. You're probably asking, well, I've gone through level 5. I've gone through all the levels. So what next? Folks, all you got to do is go back through the program again. Go right back through each level again. As a matter of fact, at any time that you're on any level, you can start back through, particularly if you're going to help other team members who may be moving a little bit slow. You can actually come back through on the $25 level at any time. So folks, this is basically how simple this program is. This is Your Eternal Seed version 2.0. Basically, all we're doing is getting two positions, working together as a team through this whole program. Now, if you look at the total gifts received, if you would add up all the gifts on all 5 levels, you would have received $74,000 in gifts. Now, you're going to be gifting yourself out of that 74,000. You're going to be gifting $9,200. That means you're going to be putting in your pocket $64,800 in gifts. So what if you could do that in the next 6 to 12 months? Is there anybody on the Zoom presentation that is expecting a $60,000, $64,000, $800 raise in the next 6 to 12 to 24 months? I mean, in this pandemic, in this economy, it ain't gonna happen, folks. But you can work together as a team to receive those sort of gifts through Your Eternal Seed. So now, how do you get started? All you gotta do is get back with the person who invited you to see this presentation. They have their own unique link. It's gonna look like this, but instead of my username, it's gonna have a username that they created. So make sure you have their link, and you would know that when you go to their link and you click on Join Us, you're going to see their information. It'll tell you who the inviter is. So if the inviter was Cedric Houston or Virginia Scott or Adonia Dawson or Fletcher, you're going to see their name, so you know that you have the right person that you're signing up with. And then you just fill out the form as you got there. You create your own password, your own username, and you submit it. And then the next step is you're going to actually pay that submit that one-time activation fee of $10 Okay, and then once you place yourself on a board, the system's going to tell you who to gift your $50 to. So, like I said, this whole process is automated, and all you got to do then is just invite two like-minded people who are going to do the same. And through this process, folks, like I said, as simple as it is, we can all win. And I love to conclude with this one slide here. That's my favorite slide. It says, "Surround yourself with those on the same mission." And if we do that, folks, we're gonna win. In 2021, even though there's a pandemic and the economy is suffering the way it is, we can still help each other instead of waiting for the government to be that source of help. So with that, that concludes the presentation, and I'm going to pause here and answer any questions that anyone has.